So as I was eating my oatmeal the other day, and been wanting to make this video for a couple of days, but I was eating my oatmeal for the other day, you know, standard, just taking a bite, scrolling through the internet, seeing what's going on, and I came across a TikTok video that ended up leading me down a wild adventure towards a new and even greater interview that I haven't seen that is over a year old regarding the Scooby-Doo shit-tacular show known as Velma. Oh my god, that show is awful. And I don't even care, like, that they made changes. It's whatever. I just don't like the way that they do, or, like, what they do with the changes. Like, if Velma and Daphne are together, that's fine. I don't care. If Fred and Velma are together, that's also cool. I don't care. But, like, they made Velma out to be literally the most unlikable bitch I've ever seen in my life. It is awful. So in case you didn't know, spoiler alert for Velma. In the latest two episodes, Velma and Daphne are trying to do something with a serial killer where they end up fighting, or they end up having Daphne's moms teach a self-defense course and then go to the least vulnerable girl award or something. And Velma ends up using her body, which they count as a gross body, as a way to win, which is cool. And then she ends up fighting Daphne. And instead of actually fighting Daphne, she steals Daphne's diary and starts reading out about how Daphne goes to see the guidance counselor every day or something. I don't understand. It is just fucking awful. And then they're mad at each other, and then they end that episode with Velma and Daphne hugging it out, which is cool. You know, they can hug it out and be friends. I don't care. But then they end it with a joke where they're like, what if we're friends who fuck? Like, no, man. And then, in case you couldn't think that it could possibly get any worse, the next episode, they have a bunch of high school kids trying to dance sexily so that way they can or get an ambulance to come in to save Velma's dumb stepmom who's having a baby or something. It's just absolutely wild. But anyways, I just came across this interview that I'm going to be showing you guys some clips from. And I liked Mindy Kaling in The Office. I thought her character was annoying and stupid, but she's alright. Like, she's not a memorable character that I care enough about to, like, rant. But still, this is important to talk about. So let's take a look at some of the clips and we'll talk about it. Which is exactly what the entire show of Velma feels like, is she thinks she's breaking barriers, but instead of breaking barriers, she's putting up more barriers and making people hate her even more. Because, oh my god, she made a character so unlikable that I thought I would love forever in Velma, who's always a goofy nerd and someone I actually like to watch and hear talk. But no, instead she is just the most obnoxious, annoying piece of shit. And I want everyone to just beat her up all the time. It's absolutely frustrating. There has been one time where I have laughed, and not because I'm uncomfortable, and it's been when Fred cut some dude's leg off by accident because some dude tried to throw, like, a paper cutter at Velma, and Fred bitch slapped it, and it spun and cut off a dude's leg, and then he fell down the stairs, because that was funny. I got nothing otherwise. Like, this show is just insanely bad. And there it is. She's acting like she's the first woman of color to be in an animated movie. No. And also Seth Meyers is sitting here acting like, now this is good TV, when the show actually sucks. If we take a look at IMDb, it has an actual 1.7% rating. It is bad. Like, nobody here actually cares about this show, and we're just watching it crash and burn. And it's great. I love how you can't make any good jokes other than, like, white people this. Like, there was a joke in the latest episode where they had a girl, or one of the people was talking about something. I don't remember which character it was, but someone was talking about something, and it was like, yeah, no, we need a white guy to do this job. And then Velma steps up and is like, oh, you think that you want a middle-aged white guy to take a look at things and do this properly? It's just fucking awful. Taking a look at the Rotten Tomatoes score, it has a 6% audience rating and a 50% Rotten Tomatoes score. which I think Rotten Tomatoes is just noticing that there were naked teenagers in the beginning, so that's why they're wanting to give it a 50%. It is just awful. And I'm really disappointed because I really thought that like this show would be bad, but I didn't think it would be this bad. To the fact where an entire episode is based off of Velma having hallucinations, like she's on LSD or something, and then having a lesbian kiss, and that fixes everything, or having Shaggy confess his love to her. And then, speaking of which, this version of Shaggy is nothing like the original, and I'm a little bit bummed about it. I don't mind that he's like different. That's fine by me. I don't have an issue that he's different. My issue with him is that he's just not Shaggy. Like, if he was gonna be Shaggy, they need to make him love food a lot more than just having a podcast called stonersnacks.com, or they needed something. It doesn't make any sense to me. And then it feels like they're slapping the fans of Scooby-Doo in the face because they have Shaggy's dad, or Norval's dad, who is literally Shaggy. And it's like, why is he literally Shaggy, but you can't have Shaggy be Shaggy? It's just really frustrating to me. And I'm all for like really bad TV shows and goofy ass shit that sucks, but this is just almost unbearable. Luckily, we only have 6 more episodes left, and they've been releasing 2 episodes a week, so I'm assuming that means 3 more weeks of this, and then I can do a full-on review and talk about how bad it is overall, but this might end up being a once-a-week thing. Yeah, let's just talk about how Seth Meyers is sitting here telling Mindy Kaling that she's the first woman of color to be voicing a neck pillow. Like, I'm all for people of color voicing other characters and doing things differently. I'm all for it. It's just when it comes down to it, if it's not good, I don't care. Like, people complained about the Lord of the Rings show because the Hartfoots were a different color than usual, I guess, or something. And you know that show was banger. But then you look at something like this, and it just literally feels like she's just trying to say something political, and it's not good. Like, this is not about a mystery anymore, and it's just kind of frustrating to me. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this for a few minutes because this was kind of bugging me and show a couple of clips from the Seth Meyers clip. This is just an awful, awful interview, and if you want to watch the full interview, just look up Mindy Kaling on Seth Meyers. It is a year-old video, but, I mean, it is just an awful clip, an awful video for an awful show. And that's gonna be about all. Take it easy.